Steph Curry, top 10 NBA player of all time. Yeah, I said it. And before you roll your eyes or start yelling about your favorite legends, take a seat, grab some popcorn, and let me walk you through this journey.
Curry, way down top.
Let's start at the beginning. Wardell Stephen Curry II wasn't supposed to make it this far. Born in Akron, Ohio, fun fact, the same hospital as LeBron James, Curry grew up in Charlotte, North Carolina. His dad, Del Curry, was an NBA sharpshooter, so basketball was in his blood. But Steph, he wasn't some destined for glory prodigy. He was the scrawny kid everyone doubted. Too small, too skinny, not strong enough for the NBA. Heck, most major colleges weren't even looking his way. But then there was Davidson, a tiny college that gave Curry a shot. And boy, did he take it. During the 2008 NCAA tournament, Curry went absolutely nuclear, dropping 40 points on Gonzaga in the first round, then dismantling Georgetown and Wisconsin. Suddenly, this kid no one believed in had everyone's attention. His shot was butter, his handles were tight, and his game, it was electrifying. Davidson even started a YouTube channel just to highlight his plays.
This guy. You don't have him for the ball.
Think about that. A college so small, so overlooked in the basketball world, had to create their own buzz just to showcase what Curry was doing on the court. But here's the funny part. This wasn't just your standard highlight reel channel. They threw in some goofy skits and comedy bits that made it feel like a mix of a Curry showcase and a late-night talk show.
Some chocolate froyo, big head burrito. I have about 3 plates, eat chick, harmon, drink my coke, chill with friends and crack some jokes.
A outpost might be open later, but Allison cannot flavor your tater. Chester's de jour is all I'm here for. Skip class today, and all I could say is,
It was unpolished, but it had charm. And it worked. Videos of Steph torching defenses made people pay attention. And speaking of YouTube, if you're enjoying this breakdown and want more basketball content, go ahead and hit that subscribe button on my channel. But let's rewind for a second to Toronto. Before Steph was lighting it up at Davidson, he spent some formative years north of the border. When Del Curry played for the Toronto Raptors, young Steph was tagging along, learning the game in a different environment. He played for a local team, the Queensway Christian College Saints, and even then, his shooting stroke was something special. There's a story about him practicing for hours in his driveway, shooting until the streetlights came on. Toronto wasn't just a pit stop. It helped shape the player he would become. Fast forward to 2009, and the Golden State Warriors decided to take a chance on him with the 7th pick in the NBA draft. This was a team that hadn't been relevant in years. Curry joined with his baby face, shaky ankles, and a lot to prove. The first few seasons, rocky. Injuries almost derailed everything. People even called him a bust. Imagine that. But Steph didn't just survive, he thrived. By 2015, he transformed not just his game, but the entire league. Let's talk about that transformation. Curry didn't just shoot threes, he made them an art form. He turned pulling up from 30 feet into a legitimate offensive strategy. Before Steph, threes were an accessory. With Steph, they're the main course. He stretched the floor like no one else, bending defenses to his will and creating opportunities for everyone around him. In 2015, Steph led the Warriors to their first championship in 40 years. That season, the Warriors were like a breath of fresh air. They played fast, they shot the lights out, and their ball movement was poetry in motion. Curry's ability to drain threes from anywhere on the court forced defenses to adapt, or more often, crumble. He didn't do it alone, of course. Klay Thompson, Draymond Green, and a deep bench made it a team effort. But Steph was the engine. In the finals, they went up against LeBron James and a depleted Cavaliers squad. Still, LeBron was playing out of his mind, and it wasn't a cakewalk. Steph's scoring, leadership, and sheer ability to hit shots in crucial moments turned the tide. That championship was the beginning of something special. Then came the Kevin Durant era. When KD joined the Warriors in 2016, the league was stunned. Suddenly, Golden State went from contenders to seemingly unbeatable. With Curry and Durant on the same team, defenses were stuck in an impossible bind. If you double-teamed Steph, KD would destroy you. If you focused on KD, Steph would light you up. And let's not forget Klay Thompson, arguably the second greatest shooter of all time. Together, they were a juggernaut. In 2017 and 2018, the Warriors won back-to-back championships, cementing their dynasty. Durant won Finals MVP both times, but don't get it twisted. Curry's fingerprints were all over those titles. He led the team in scoring during the playoffs and set the tone with his unselfish play. What made Steph special during the KD years wasn't just his ability to score, but his willingness to sacrifice. He didn't care about personal accolades, he just wanted to win. That humility, that team-first mentality, is what makes him such a legendary player. Now, let's talk about 2022. This one might be the most impressive championship of all. By this point, the doubters were back. People said the Warriors were done. Klay had missed 2 seasons with injuries. KD was long gone. And Steph? He was 34 years old, with plenty of mileage on his legs. But the Warriors didn't just make a comeback, they dominated. Steph put the team on his back, reminding everyone why he's one of the greatest to ever do it. In the 2022 finals against the Boston Celtics, Curry was otherworldly. He averaged 31.2 points per game, shot 48% from the field and 44% from 3. Game 4 in Boston was the stuff of legend. With the Warriors down 2-1 in the series, Steph dropped 43 points in a hostile environment, dragging his team to victory. It was a masterpiece, a perfect blend of skill, heart, and determination. When the Warriors won the title, Steph finally got the one thing missing from his resume, a Finals MVP, and he earned every bit of it. Look at his stats. Steph's career average sits around 24 points per game, but that doesn't tell the whole story. In his unanimous MVP season, the only player in NBA history to win unanimously, he averaged 30.1 points, led the league in steals, and shot a mind-blowing 45% from 3 on over 11 attempts per game. 11 attempts. That's like playing a video game on cheat mode. Now let's dive into his impact on the court. Curry's handles are ridiculous. He's got defenders on skates, spinning around like they're stuck in a carnival ride. Remember that game against the Clippers when he dribbled through 4 defenders, stepped back, and drained a 3? Pure wizardry. Or the time he hit that game winner from 40 feet out against OKC in 2016? The dude's range is infinite, but it's not just the flash. Curry's off-ball movement is surgical. He's constantly in motion, running defenders ragged, creating space for his teammates. Klay Thompson, Kevin Durant, Draymond Green, they all thrive because Curry's gravity opened up the floor. Defenders had to guard him the second he crossed half court, leaving lanes wide open for his squad. And let's not forget the accolades. 4 NBA championships, 2 MVPs, Finals MVP, 9-time All-Star. The all-time leader in three-pointers made and counting. And he's not done yet. Every time you think you've seen it all, Curry adds another layer to his game. Let's go back to Davidson for a moment. The 2008 NCAA tournament wasn't just Curry's coming out party, it was a basketball revolution. When you watch those highlights now, it's like seeing the future in real time. Steph was pulling up from deep before it was cool, making defenders look silly with his crafty handles. And the confidence? Unmatched. He played with the swagger of someone who knew he was destined for greatness, even if no one else saw it yet. That Davidson YouTube channel? It's still up, by the way. Those grainy clips of Curry lighting up college defenses are a reminder of how far he's come. From the scrappy underdog to the face of a dynasty, his journey has been nothing short of incredible. And if you dig deep into those clips, you'll see the goofy charm of those early days. A mix of jaw-dropping highlights and lighthearted humor that made you root for the kid even more. But here's the thing. Being top 10 isn't just about stats and rings. It's about changing the game. Steph Curry changed basketball. Kids in every gym across the world aren't dreaming about dunking like MJ or LeBron anymore. They're trying to shoot from the logo like Steph. He made basketball more inclusive. You don't need to be 6'10 with a 40-inch vertical to dominate. If you've got skill, work ethic, and a deadly jumper, you've got a shot. People will say, oh, but he's not dominant like Shaq. Or, he doesn't have the all-around game of LeBron. Sure, Curry's not a bruiser, and he's not out here averaging a triple-double. But dominance isn't one size fits all. Curry's dominance is in his finesse, his shooting, his ability to make everyone around him better. He's the ultimate teammate, the engine of one of the greatest dynasties in NBA history. And let's talk legacy. When we look back in 50 years, Curry's name will be synonymous with the three-point revolution. He'll be remembered as the guy who redefined what's possible on a basketball court. That's immortality right there. So, yeah, Steph Curry is a top 10 NBA player of all time. Call it bold, call it crazy, but if you really look at his impact, his achievements, and the way he's reshaped the game, it's undeniable. The baby-faced assassin has earned his place among the greats.